Hi, folks. You are watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media, all of our channels and networks like Spotify and iTunes. Thanks for listening. I'm Mike Morales here in soggy Southern California. That guy out there is
Jay Silverman here in the Valley of the Sun, Phoenix, Arizona.
Jay and I were talking off camera. Jay has the opportunity this past weekend when we're recording this was the Agave Heritage Festival, which I have been dying to go to, and I'm hoping that next year we'll be able to attend. So you'll see Jay and me hanging out at the bar with all the
Oh boy, that's
the
going to be a great.
the legends of agave. Who showed up? You were there for what a day, and he's texting me pictures of him and Carlos Camarena and Chris Simmons, who I'm a big fan of because we actually met Chris in San Diego when he was still working at one of the hotels there, and we spent a good afternoon with him. He's a certified catador. What happened? How was the crowd in general, and what was the general feel? Because now this year was what, the 15th, 14th, 15th
year. They had a great series of events and seminars. Several of the seminars were led by people like David Suro, who has a new book coming about. He's writing a book.
He and Gary Nabam, I think.
Yes.
And Gary,
they had a preview of that, and then people like David Suro talking about agave spirits, the future, protecting the sustainability, and there was like mezcal producers like Asís Cortez, who to me is a legendary young producer, and he's just he's more traditional and also younger than a lot of producers. He's an incredible guy. He's also an incredible artist. I always compliment him on the labels that he's drawn for De Chibi, Origin Reyes, and El Holgorio. His artwork has been stopping. I mean, it's really beautiful.
So would you recommend people attend that next year?
Yeah, if you like mezcal and you want to go to the Agave Heritage Festival, it's incredible. I mean, it's a beautiful city. Tucson is a very unique, cool place. And it's kind of like Austin's younger brother. It's like culture and like kind of hip, but also antique and like retro at the same time. Like it's hard to describe. It's just a great, cool little city, and just a lot of like interesting people doing interesting things.
Hey, that's Tucson. So maybe next year you'll see this brand out at the show. It's called Prolijo, and if you've watched any of our reviews lately, you know that we've been falling all over ourselves with this brand. This is the second wave of expressions that Juan Peña, who is a curator and brand owner, made this happen for Jay and myself. We love the quality is bar none. Every expression has got that depth and quality that you expect from an excellent mezcal. This one is Prolijo Pechuga. So Jay asked me, he goes, "What are we celebrating?" I go, "How about the Agave Heritage Festival?" So we went there. And
I mean, the producers always put their heart into Pechugas. It's always a spectacular occasion. If you're tasting a Pechuga, it's always going to be, it should be a pretty good time.
Well, and it's a celebratory. Pechugas they're becoming more and more common on the market, but initially they're only distilled maybe once or twice a year, depending on the person, the maestro mezcalero, because these were meant for celebrations, for celebrations as in holidays, holy days, deaths, births. It was a special reserve, let's put it that way. So it's not, but they became more and more common because people were asking for them. So we've not had any of these Pechugas, and I have had several Pechugas now in this year. I had a venison Pechuga.
Wow.
That was spectacular. I've had sotol avocado con víbora, which is kind of like a sotol that's infused with snake, and that almost reacts like a Pechuga. So I've had a few under my belt now, but of different styles, different regions, and different plants. So this one is what, an Espadin? Because
Espadin.
Yeah, it's an Espadin with natural flavors, frutas y pechuga de gallina. So it's chicken breast, folks. Chicken breast. that means technically it's distilled 3 times. Okay. And that's what that means. That's 48 ABV. They keep upping the ante on us on these
Great
mezcals.
stuff. I mean, yeah, Pechuga is always wonderful and fun, and you have that extra layer of flavor distilled in, and yeah, it's exciting to see what it's all about. You know, I've been very happy with everything I've tasted with Prolijo so far. We've been impressed with the lineup, and this should be a cool experience to try this one as well.
So I'm going to pour mine again in this tazo jarrito that I poured out whatever was in there, probably water, and I'm going to let's see where we go with this one, because I'm looking forward to it. It's oh my gosh, lingering bubbles, and you all know how much I love bubbles. I'm telling you, look for bubbles, especially in your tequilas. They're lesser and lesser found, and again, it's not a symbol of quality, but definitely a good telltale sign. Okay, so as you can see, it's got a lot of nice shampoo bubbles on this. So
the product itself very crystal clear, right?
Oh yeah, it's very pristine,
and I'm excited to see what impact the extra layer of distillation has brought to it.
Well, it's a lot less denser. I mean, it's a lot less aromatic than I was expecting, and that, you know.
Well, give it some time. Might open up like the Tepezate.
Yeah, the other two opened up. And we just
turn around for 5 minutes, and then boom, it's like a whole layer of complexity just waiting for you to, you know, jump out of the
glass.
Boys in the Attic style.
Boys in the Attic. Holy cow! Who's gonna get that? Who's gonna get that?
Oh, come on!
Wait, who's gonna get that reference?
Hopefully, a couple of these old newbies. Oh boy!
You know when you're old, when you start to reference stuff that only you and I get. You know, nobody else is gonna get that. Oh my God!
I've been trying to teach my kids about Led Zeppelin. I don't know. I've been.
Well, you know, get them a T-shirt. You know, that's how it starts, and you know, and
well, they say, "Oh, Dad, we like rock and roll." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, let's listen to Led Zeppelin 3, and we'll see."
Yeah, I know. Wait, rock and roll here. Let me put on some Meatloaf for you.
House of the Holy. See what you think, kids.
Queen. That's it. Oh,
one of them was like asking for an instrumental.
Oh my God. Now it opened up. It's amazing.
It does have a way of jumping out at you, like one part at a time, one leg at a time, just climbing out of the glass.
But here, it's more of the fruits that they were talking about. It's not the fruits like tropical fruits. These are like the distilled fruits. It's a denser, kind of like a steamed fruit. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it's strong and ripe papaya, tropical fruit kind of thing. Cantaloupe, you know, it's gonna just kind of claw its way out of there.
Claw its way out of there. It's gonna rise out of the top swamp.
I mean, it takes a minute, but then you get this complexity that you know, when you go into these upper levels of agave and maguey's and kind of like reach a little bit further towards the you know, small batch artisanal bottlings, and you definitely get your money's worth with the complexity and the experience. Is just really memorable of tasting stuff like this.
Now I'm getting anise. I'm getting like wow, holy cow. You know, the last time I had this much anise on a pechuga, it was in a bacanora.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a bacanora that from another brand that Santo Coviso has a bacanora that they curate, but it's a bacanora with I don't even want to call it. They don't call it pechuga. They call it something else. But it was amazing with the spices and the uvalama. Was it uvalama? I'm not sure. I have to look back at the review, folks, because we do so many of these. But they are memorable because it brought it right back to me. It's like, oh, I've had this smell before.
Yeah.
It's at the bottom of the liquid. It's at the bottom of the glass. If you're holding it sideways, you can get it down to the top layer to bottom layer.
Excellent stuff. It's definitely a complex spirit.
Now, right in the center, I'm not getting alcohol. I'm getting chicken breast. I'm getting a savoriness that I was expecting. There it is, right in the center of the glass, man.
Yeah, I agree.
You want to dive in?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Let's go for it. Is it clearing your sinuses?
Yeah, totally.
Some of this stuff will clear your sinuses. It's if you have a cold or like allergies and stuff, this will cut right through it, man.
Oh yeah.
All right, here we go. Wow. You got that. You got some agave pepper. There's a lot of pepper going on in there too. You notice that?
I got a lot of natural flavor, but I got a lot of sweetness up front, which I did not get from mostly any of the other Prolijos. But this one got the sweetness from the fruit and the leather and it's complex. Really nice finish. Honestly, it's really spectacular.
I love the pepperiness. I love what they've got some it's a strong white pepper. It could be black pepper actually. Yeah. And it coats the middle of the palate to the rear and the sides of the tongue. And almost
feeling the coating of the palate are fantastic. It has that complexity, the fruit, and it has I believe that it's going to open up even further. The more.
Oh yeah, it has to.
It's really kind of got some interesting things, pineapple and jalapeno, and then what did I say a moment ago? The
jalapeno would be okay because that's more like a savory brininess kind of thing. Even green bell pepper. But on the mouthfeel, it was like a pepper explosion that I didn't get from the other two. Of course, those are two different plants.
Yeah, the dried.
One was an Espadin, the other one was a Tempestate. So they were, it's like night and day. But frequently, depending on the agave, you'll get some pepper notes. And this one's got the most of the ones that we've had. And this one, but of course it's a Pechuga, triple distilled in a higher ABV. So you're gonna feel them more.
Yeah, it's spectacular, really. I mean, it's very complex, very interesting.
But
nice,
you know what?
From the glass as well.
Are you getting enough savoriness on your tongue? Because I get it more on the nose and not so much on the tongue, which is unusual.
I would agree with that. I got more savory on the aroma, and then with the tongue, I got a touch of sweetness, which I did not get at all in the other expressions. But this is still very green, vegetal. Again, it has to be said, these guys are wonderful distillers, and they really have it down to an art with their distillation. It's very well made stuff. I mean, the way they're distilling, it's this is what they want it to taste like, and they're going. You can tell that they have a very specific focus of not too much of this, not too much of that. It's very well balanced and approachable, really, for a Pechuga.
Yeah.
It's approachable, but it's very complex.
That was what I was wondering, because I know some Pechugas are a little bit more they lean more with the savoriness and the Pechuga. You get more chicken. You're not getting as much of that on this one. I noticed that even on the nose, there was more fruitiness, whatever the fruits that they were using, because it's con frutas y pechuga de gallina, which is just chicken breast. And the fruits could be anything like for apricots and plums and cherry, whatever, apples.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I got. I got more of the fruitiness. The savoriness was more on the nose, not so much on the palate and the tongue. Because I've had other Pechugas where you get that savoriness on the tongue and not so much on the nose. So again, I don't get a name of a master distiller, so I'm Maestro Mezcalero, so I'm not sure who that would be, but That's gorgeous. It's just
the collective on this one, but yeah, that's right. They did put the master distiller on some of their labels, but not on this Pechuga. So maybe it was a group effort.
I say it's a Brand of Promise nominee. This Pechuga is well worth getting, and again, it's not. Pechugas by and large are celebratory, but this one I think kind of leans toward you could almost get this without having to worry about a holiday or a Agave Fest. You know
it's
what I mean?
Monday. Come on.
It's Monday,
so
right?
Mike, I know you can find this in California, right? Is that right? Do you have seen it?
Well, I thought we looked off camera, and I think Old Town Tequila might have it.
Yep, that's right. Absolutely.
Yeah, and
as far as like other places in California or Texas or Arizona, what do we know about that?
I don't know. You know, that's a good question because I don't know. Juan Pena is the curator and the brand owner. He's the one that puts these together.
I guess if you look at prolijo.mezcal.com, www.prolijomezcal.com, that would tell you more than we're implying right now. But I'm sure it's worth looking for if you can find.
Well, if you're anywhere in Chicagoland, you can find it at Binny's.
Oh,
they have the Mezcal Espadin Joven, the Pechuga. Let me see what they have. A Prolijo Mezcal Pechuga. Let me just click on this one while I'm looking at the.
Yeah, why not in real time? Tell us what's going on if you want to.
Yeah, the Pechuga's 100. Wait a minute. Let me find it. They have a Tobola, which you and I have had the Tobola at $132. That's Spirit Hub. I don't think we've had it from there, but
spectacular Tobola.
Let me see. Prolijo Pechuga, $98.56 at Beverage Warehouse.
That sounds good. I mean, that's a fair price for a great Pechuga.
That's $100. Well,
yeah.
That's $100. You know what? For the quality that we're getting, that's really very, very approachable and price point as well. Because Jay, you're in the middle of this whole thing in a hospitality business. You've seen what prices are going for on different mezcals and tequila.
I mean, we charge $25, $30 a shot for most of the good mezcals. You know, if you come there, it's going to take a little bit of cash to drink nice mezcal. So for $100 a bottle, you're styling. You're going to enjoy the heck out of it.
Yeah, and you're not going to need a whole lot. Like I said with Jay, the previous expression, one or two of these, and you're satisfied, and you're done. And as like Jay said, you want to sip responsibly, especially with mezcals at these higher grades of alcohol. And they're designed for that, folks. They're designed,
right. Do an ounce at a time or half an ounce, and it's good.
Yeah, and you're done. If you want a cocktail, then you go at a lower ABVs, and that Espadin Reposado is, exactly. We already talked about that on camera. That's your jam right there for the Oaxacan old fashioned. Or what is it? Isn't there another one they call the Oaxacan old fashioned? What is it? There's no Oaxaca Manhattan, is there?
Yeah, Mezcal Manhattan. You can do that too with the Reposado.
Oh, good.
You want? Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, there you go. Now I know what you're going to make me when I go see you next year, because we're going to go to
riff on a classic with a touch of Amaro and mezcal.
Show the brochure one more time, because I would love to go to the Agave Fest. For those of you who have not been, if you're watching
this is Tucson. This is an Agave program from Tucson. This booklet actually has some cool stuff. It'll have the mayor of Tucson talking about the agave plants, not necessarily just for mezcal, but agaves in general. And then there's some amazing photography.
Nice photos. Wow.
He had pictures of, this is one of the guys that was running the festival this year, Todd Hanley of the Hotel Congress. And this is EXO coffee and mezcal in Tucson. But yeah, they're Heritage Festival every year, April 27th to 30th. They did a phenomenal job, and the programming was incredible with David Suro.
Next year, man.
Carlos Camarena, Asis Cortez. There was let's see, Las Almas. We had Tequila Ocho, Noche Luna.
So you run the gamut of all the agave spirits. The traditional tequilas that are out there, mezcals, sotols. I would imagine Bacanoras. Yeah, all the people that show up.
Great Sotol Bacanora. Yeah, absolutely. And there was quite a lot of interesting agave aficionados. Great cultural event, really. It was, bringing together people from Mexico, Arizona, and people came from New York and all around. So it was cool. It was great.
You can count me in for next year, man. We're going to have a contingent of guys from Tequila Aficionado next year, because that's one of those events that's been on my radar for years.
Yeah, I mean, if we can all meet up in Tucson for a weekend, it would be an incredible memory.
Oh my God, they'll have to, all of us with our social media. Holy cow!
There were places to go for this.
Oh, we got
Capuchana. I had a Capuchana yesterday. Oh my God!
I got friends in Arizona that have been asking me to come down anyway. You've been there for a while now, so we have a lot of connections in Arizona.
Are you kidding me? It's like a 5-hour drive from LA. Where do you live? Pasadena?
Yeah, the same. I could fly out of Ontario.
No, it's a 5-hour drive.
No, fly out of Ontario, man. Just fly.
Yeah.
Next year, I'm flying everywhere.
That's a good idea. Honestly, it'd be a good drive. I mean, a good flight, easy flight.
Oh yeah. Well, this time of year you can drive it too, because it's not the middle of summer and you're not driving into hell, and going through needles like you have to. But anyway, folks, that's our take on Prolijo. This is the Pechuga. Don't forget to get it. If you have gotten it, tell us what you're doing with it, how much you're paying for it. Leave us a comment down below if you're watching us on Instagram or Facebook or
because Prolijo is a newer brand. I mean, when I look at the big scheme of things, mezcal is most of the brands I know for the past 10 years or so. This is a newcomer still. So it's really at a high level. It's excellent quality mezcal, but they are just now probably breaking into the market. So if you can support them, I would by all means look for a bottle and buy one. If you love mezcal, a lot of people are into mezcal nowadays. If you like mezcal, collecting mezcal, go for it. This is a great purchase. I would definitely.
Yeah, and it's a bargain right now for the price points that there are out there.
There's a lot of people drinking and buying good mezcal, so I would say do it.
And the quality is there. So congratulations to Juan Peña and Prolijo. That's our take, folks. I'm Mike Morales here in Southern California. That guy out there is
Jay Silverman in Phoenix, Arizona.
You've been watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media. All of our channels and networks, please follow us on YouTube, hit the notification bell, give us a like, share this with other agave nuts out there. But whatever you do, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely, friends.